The wealthy man spent $2 million on a lavish bride price to marry an international supermodel, but after bringing her home, he treated her like a decoration, placing her high on a shelf. Even on their wedding day, she wasn't allowed to take a single step on her own. Guests whispered and placed bets, convinced the couple would divorce within a month. To everyone's surprise, their marriage seemed perfect. Every day, the tycoon would climb up to the shelf to talk with her, and she vowed to always show him her most beautiful side. Sometimes, while practicing yoga, she worried she might disturb his work, but he'd smile and tell her that work was what distracted him from admiring her beauty. Hearing that, she couldn't stop grinning. It was the sweetest thing she'd ever heard. Whenever he returned from business trips, he'd bring her gifts. Sometimes it was a 10-pound solid gold bracelet. Other times it was freshly picked flowers from that very morning. And whenever he had free time, he would climb up onto the shelf to nap beside her. She loved the feeling of being cherished and slowly grew used to life on that perch. Doing her nails, practicing yoga, her daily routine always revolved around the shelf. Her husband even moved his desk into the same room, so that whenever he was tired, they could lock eyes with deep affection. By their 3rd anniversary, she couldn't wait to see what surprise he had in store. But all she got was a casual blown kiss before he turned and left for another trip. The housekeeper was shocked. "No gift this year?" she asked. The woman quickly explained, "That kiss is worth more than pearls." But her restless hands betrayed her disappointment. She thought maybe her dress wasn't to his liking, so she changed into his favorite one. This time, he didn't even glance at her. He just walked straight to his desk. She tried to start a conversation, but he brushed her off with a half-hearted reply. Unwilling to give up, she began singing his favorite song, only for him to cut her short, asking her to be quiet. She swallowed her tears, afraid they might ruin her makeup. The next day, she dressed more carefully than ever, putting on the most expensive gown she owned, hoping to finally catch his eye. But instead, he complained that the sunlight was blocking his screen and ordered the maid to move his desk so he was turned away from her. She angrily demanded an explanation. He calmly said, "Facing the window is healthier, better air circulation. Otherwise, I'll get sick." She bit back her frustration, telling herself she just needed to be more understanding. But then by chance, she glanced at his screen. He wasn't working at all. He was chatting with another woman. This time, she didn't argue. She just let the tears fall, not caring if they ruined her face. Because she knew in his eyes, she no longer existed. 3 years slipped by, and every day she still dressed up, hoping for his praise. But all she heard was the cold sound of the door shutting behind him. That final silence shattered her completely. She slipped off one high heel and whispered to herself, "It's time to go." But when she looked down, the shelf, once barely 3 meters high, had turned into a bottomless abyss. Years of being trapped up there had left her terrified of the ground. She tossed her shoe into the void, and it took ages before she heard the faint echo. Her breath grew short and frantic, and yet, despite the fear, she gathered her courage and let go.